Okay, so
I want to do things and not think I have to be a man or think I have to fucking find my label.
Freedom
I'm
ain't
just
free.
I'm just Guigo and what Guigo does.
Okay, this is a good question.
Fuck.
I want to. What's a moment of silence? Okay, shh. Shh. What happens after we are deceased? We die. We terminate. We are no longer beating. Well,
We kicked the bucket.
I would like to begin this question by addressing the obvious.
What? What?
Okay. That's what happens. Finally, when you die, I don't have to hear your shit anymore. After we die? No, the problem with this question is it's worded wrong. It's not after we die. It's after you die. What do I do after you die? What happens? I live my life. I get money.
And this time, it's not only Guigo. Nico finally doesn't have a fucking excuse. Welcome, Nico. Tell the crowd how much you love them, huh? Huh? He's not saying anything. This is manipulation. This is the silent treatment. How dare you?
I was trying to make it seem like you were the only one here, and then there's like,
they're like, oh, he's joking, and they're like, oh,
yeah, he's actually stupid. There's no one there. He's schizophrenic.
All right, so
not schizophrenic people aren't stupid, but you are.
What the fuck we doing today, Nico?
Oh, I thought it was your topic.
Oh, I guess it is, because you chose the topic and it didn't work because I hate you. Let's see. Today we're gonna do.
Oh, Guido's wearing glasses today.
Yeah, because I can't see.
Nerd.
We're doing philosophical questions.
But not really.
Okay. And we're pulling these questions from if you Google search philosophical questions, it's the second one down by Operation Meditation. Shout out.
Like you find out they're like the worst website. They support like the KKK. And you're like,
I'm cool with that as long as they have the fucking cool list here.
Oh, you're cool with the KKK then?
No, I'm cool. Logical fallacy.
There you go.
Wow.
Bye bye.
Yeah, here we go. Okay.
FBI.
So it's by Operation Meditation.
No, it's not.
I don't think that's his. Oh no, that's the website.
I don't think that's his real name.
Yes.
Yeah, the guy. You assume it's a guy that can make whatever.
Oh, here we go. All right. Is it worse to fail at something or never attempt it in the first place? Depends on the thing, doesn't it? Doesn't it?
No, it's okay. It's like the question was like, oh, if what doesn't kill me makes me stronger. It's not the question, but that saying, that's not true at all. If you fall off a bridge and you don't die, but you break your legs, you're not going to be stronger. You may be morally stronger in some slight sense, but obviously you're the kind of person that jump off a bridge. You maybe weren't that strong in the first place. So
wow, that's rude. What'd you?
Oh, we're not saying committing suicide. We're saying this person jumped off a bridge because they wanted to jump off a bridge to try it. Okay, this is somebody who's insane.
I've done.
No, you haven't. You'd break the bridge.
It was a small bridge. Okay.
You'd break the
so
bridge.
Jax Teller from Sons of Anarchy has this quote that goes, "There is an old saying, that which doesn't kill you makes you stronger. I don't believe that. I think the things that try to kill you make you angry and sad." And then other shit. So
no.
So is it worse to fail at something or never attempt it in the first place? Well, there's that thing where the top level business people, they're very risk averse, right? And they put stop losses on all their shit. You know what a stop loss is, Nico?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So they put stop losses on all their, finance stuff.
Yeah, they put their stop losses on their finance stuff.
Yes,
of course.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, that's what they mean.
Mm-hmm, yes.
Stop loss.
So basically, they're very risk averse, and they're going to try to Make sure. So
yeah, risk averse.
They don't want to fail at something. You want to hedge your. I think the thing is that never attempt.
I don't. Okay, I think the idea is that if it doesn't say "oh, fail at something and try again," it just says "fail." So because of the wording, it's just would you rather fail or never try and fail? So with that statement, no, I'd never like if I didn't know I was gonna fail and I tried something and I failed, that would suck. Okay,
but you would want to make sure.
But this is saying
as you could know.
But from what this is saying, I will fail or I don't do it.
If you know you're gonna fail, then
I would not do it. No, fuck it.
Unless you.
If I was like, man, I can jump between these two buildings, and then I knew I would fail, I wouldn't try it. But if I knew I would, if I didn't know that,
if you didn't know you failed,
50-50 flip the coin, I fell. I die. But if I didn't know that,
apparently there is slightly more chance of it landing tails up because there's slightly more weight on the head.
Except in 100 flips, it was 50. I think it was on 50, either 51-49 or 50-50.
Something like that.
But so the chance is very slight to the point that it doesn't even have a statistical significance.
You've learned something. All right, yo, go, bro.
If you could choose just one thing to change about the world, what would it be?
Feminism. No, I would change Nico.
Okay, we're shutting off the episode. We're off the air. Yeah, it's been a good show.
What would you change, Nico? I would change basically I
would change foods that have high calories to make those have low calories, and foods that have low calories make those have high calories. I'm mad at eating cake and feeling like I'm fat.
You don't want. Oh man.
This is for all my heavy.
But some healthy food is good.
My thick fans out there. There's not a lot.
I
don't know actually. Maybe you're all thick. But it's for all of us, okay?
You
for all
fans.
us thick boys, thick girls out there. Cake should not make us fat. Pizza should not make us fat. I stand against calories. I am against the revolution of veganism. No, I was kidding. I'm not against veganism, but I would also. It'd be really nice. If this is supposed to, the funny part is this is about to be like, oh, that would change so everybody could be equal or something like that. And this is not to say those are bad goals, but I'm talking about quality of life. Why can't all people just make their own food like plants? Like if I wish I could make I could make 2,000 calories of energy while being like a plant does. Except plants don't make as much energy, but I wish there was a way, some new, it would have to be something really new, like something really revolutionary, because the reason people started or animals started eating meat or even eating vegetables is to make more energy. So, but yeah, that's what I want.
That's what Nico changed.
I would want to not have to deal with anything.
I would want people to try to be more able to see the situation.
Okay, Mr. Control Freak over here.
I'm speaking.
I would like to make people. I would like to make people.
Mike, this is my talk.
My talky whitey.
You don't get to.
My wimey, toy wimey.
All right, mate. So I would change it so people are more able to recognize the lose-lose situation. How do you pronounce it? The Perhick victories?
Now on Reddit, I am very smart.
No, because then you have situations where it's like global climate change.
No,
where if everybody needs to realize this is all
a tragedy of the commons.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
pretty much exactly.
Like we spend more money than those European countries on healthcare, but we don't have universal healthcare. That kind of concept.
Don't you dare.
Oh, you American. Yeah,
but we have freedom care.
Freedom care.
I name a country. That's what I thought. Right. 4th of July was recently, so I'm feeling. On 4th of July, I watch British shows to remind me of what I saved myself from, or what we have saved ourselves from, rather, and why I thank so much those revolutionaries.
Is it wet humor or moist humor?
Moist is just such a weird word. Moist. It's so wet in your mouth.
Moist.
Okay, Gil.
To what extent do you shape your own destiny, and how much is down to fate?
Okay,
down to
Gio,
fate.
You know me with this whole fate thing, okay?
Got it.
I say you don't actually have any control over your own future in a weird sense. It's a weird thing where you have free will. So you're going to always, but the thing is, if you were going to drop your phone, you are always going to drop your phone because that's the person you are at that moment. And then you learn to never drop your phone again. You'll change your future, but you are always going to learn from that event. So I would say you are who you are, so you're going to shape the way your future turns out. But because you are the way you are, your future is always going to turn out the way it is.
It sounds like a catch-22.
It's for better or for worse. You'll go for your life the way you're going to go, but you are who you are. You're not going to all of a sudden be knowing calculus if you never took calculus class. Or you're never going to...
What about those people who hit their heads?
See, but they were always going to hit their heads.
Okay.
They were never going to stop that.
I don't believe
Phineas Gage, what was he going to stop the pole? That was always going to happen. There was no, but he didn't. Yeah, he didn't. He didn't.
You are.
So I would say you shape your own destiny, but it's already faded out. Your future. So it's kind of like in Harry Potter, where
you're believing in God. God has a plan for you.
But
you have free will to make that plan.
Yeah, I guess I think that's where the idea probably comes from. It's why it exists. Though I think people get confused, like, oh, do you have free will? How can you have free will if you have a destiny? Well, it's kind of like in movies and things, or like stories where it's like this guy is in the prophecy, but how he gets to that end point is not in the prophecy. He has to go there, but we know the end point. We know points in there, but he's always going to make it to there. He's always going to do these things to make it to there.
Like when you know Han Solo is going to survive, so all those...
Or like when you're Dovahkiin. You know everybody's like, who are you, traveler? But you know you're the Dovahkiin already.
Okay,
you know you're the guy who's going to slay the dragons.
Spoiler. The Place Beyond the Pines. We didn't know
that's an old ass movie.
We didn't know Ryan Gosling was gonna die in like the first third of the movie. And there you go.
But he was always going to die.
Yeah. That doesn't make sense.
He was always gonna die.
I mean, you just did the Han Solo. I think is that it's not. It's you have autonomy, right? You can do what you want. You have free will, but it's kind of like the stock market. There are ways you can predict and influence the stock market, especially the richer you are. But at some point, no one can predict the way a stock's going to go because there's so fucking many factors that goes into the stock prices going up and down that you just can't predict it. And that's how your life is. There's so many things influencing what's going to happen around you that you can't predict or really control. That's why Timba gets scared in lightning. But you still have quote unquote self-autonomy, autonomy. But the thing is that autonomy is also controlled by things, right? Phineas Gage gets in the head, things change. You are an organism, so stop! He's doing a fucking inflatable, like those dancing things right in front of me, like.
Remember the Family Guy episode? No, it was American Dad, where it's like, "What are you?"
So yeah, you get hit in the head, it changes your personality. So you're an organism, and that doesn't change. So it's a big mix. But I think in the end, you're in control despite. Lack of control. I
think what I'm trying to the thing is I agree with that, but I think those variables, because there's no change, the variables are always going to go the way they are. It's like we're in an experiment that's already occurred. We're not changing any variables. We don't have control over those variables. They're always going to happen the way they're going. Everything has the singular. It's like the idea that everything has a singular control over itself that's not going to change itself because to change the future, because it can't change itself to change the future because it doesn't know the future. But I get the idea that maybe that's not true. I mean, I have no knowledge of the great timeline.
You don't fucking know. Your turn.
Okay, this is not a philosophical question.
I feel like this is
a good question, though. Does nature, also known as nature, shape our personalities more than nature, which is nurture?
Nature.
Nature.
Oh, what was that thing?
Je parle français.
Misogynist.
They call me a misogynist.
A racist.
You mean misogynist? No, a misogynist. It was a friendly compliment. It was a compliment. It was not a compliment. So I'll step up here.
Oh,
Actually, no,
come
you,
easy,
you.
so-
I started the last one. You stepped this one up. I don't know what that means. Step up.
That was a good move. Shut up.
Level up.
Does nature shape our personalities more than nurture?
See, he doesn't even pay attention.
Our personalities?
Okay.
That's a weird...
Yeah.
It's almost like you... It's like you have little sparks. How does that make sense? So you are born with things that don't... It's kind of like a skill, right? A skill can be used for good or evil.
So you mean like Fallout, where you give your little skills? You got like 4 into charisma, 4 into strength. Nah, you put them all into charisma because you're trying to get babes.
That's what I do. Well, the lady killer one too. So
and then you kill people.
So what? You,
Classic Fallout.
No, let's say you have
Fallout 76
persuasive skills. You can persuade a person to end, like put away a bunch of nuclear
I
weapons.
thought you were gonna say end their life. I was like, and put away a bunch of nuclear weapons. I mean,
is it good? So you can put away a bunch of nuclear weapons, or you can persuade somebody to explode it. So kind of nature is like that
both of those
skill,
seem very similar.
right? And nurture is a spark that lets I don't know how to explain it. It puts the perspective of those skills, so to speak. So nature is like you're born. Let's say your brain functions a certain way, and it's just you have more gray matter in a certain spot. Or me, I am likely to have less
brain.
in general.
You got no brain, child. I just want to cut in here. Pretty interesting.
Less dopamine in the frontal lobe. I was still talking, you ass.
No, because he reminded me of something, and so
What?
when he talked about getting away nuclear weapons, this has nothing to do with the question. So about nuclear weapons, okay? So I learned is that enriched uranium is harder to make than plutonium, but the bomb you make it with is easier to make, and plutonium is easier to acquire, but the bomb that you make with plutonium is more difficult to make. So those technological barriers are what is stopping countries that are lower on the food chain. I mean, we all know the lower food chain countries.
We all know.
Huh, not America.
Duh.
Top big boys.
Duh.
But yeah, that's what's stopping a nuclear bomb. So continue if you wish, or if I can cut in again by saying my points on this question.
Higher propensity to have lower dopamine in my frontal lobes, which causes certain things. But
small frontal
nurture like if I grew up in an environment that shames me for it, then my personality goes.
Or Phineas Gage, if I get a pull through my head at the age of 5.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. You're born with these certain things.
Don't go like this to me. Don't like throw in a fake pole.
But nature usually, when the people talk about nature, they usually talk about
how you're raised,
how you were born.
What?
No,
how you're born. Nature.
Yeah.
Nature is not about how you're born. It's your genetics.
But how it's also biological, right? Phineas Gage gets hit in the head. He changes.
I mean, I guess. So, I don't know. I think that's the weird circumstance. I mean, but then what about physical abuse? Why is that included into nurture? That's a biological reaction when your brain, those chemicals that it releases.
Good point.
I guess. See, I think the answer to this question. Okay, so there was a psychological test that I think now today would be considered probably not very illegal. So, but they found out like twins, it's like about 70% of your personality. That's the test. The test said it was about 70%. I'm not saying it is. That certain study, I can't quote it right now, unfortunately.
It's a fact.
It's not a fact. I'm not saying this is a fact, but you can look up. It's a twin study. I think it was 1977. I don't know. So yeah, it was a study with two. They had orphan twins. They separated one with the other, and they separated into different families, and to see how they grew up. And they were like, oh, they grew up very similar, regardless of where they were. IQs were very close. Everything was very close. So that would be nature. That their personalities were extremely similar. Their IQs are similar. Everything was very similar. So a slight amount was nurture. But the thing is, I think the problem with that is, what is that 30%? Is the 30% what we see of the person, or is the 30% just the underlying subconscious thoughts? Because, when you see somebody, like how they handshake and those kind of things, the typical things you cue up on, how they talk, are they shy, those kind of traits, Those are traits you see, but like maybe the traits of like what they're thinking inside their head, how they think about things that happen at home, how they react to events that happened around them. The things that you don't see are those part of the 30%. That's
it
the
reminds
question.
me of that like stock market thing, like I just said.
God damn it.
Oh!
Son of a bitch.
Like you can't. There's so many factors that it's almost impossible to predict. I mean, you can predict a little. Now, what about if there's a thing?
Wabba.
How far away did they take these orphans?
A lot. They were nowhere near.
Because what if like just people are so similar?
There was also a case in like Colombia, I believe, where there was two twins born on the same day, two pairs. And they gave the wrong kid. They switched out one of the kids with another kid, and they gave them to different families. When they grew up, one family was a poor farming family. Other family was a rich city family. Mm-hmm. The kid that was from the poor farming family that grew up with the rich family felt very disconnected from the way he was living. He didn't feel like he was living right. He didn't fit in. He was very uncomfortable. And the same thing happened with the other kid. So a lot of genetics play into the role. I think a lot of people undermine that fact. And I think it's just that it snaps an idea of like, you make yourself. It's not a problem.
It takes away your control, kind of like self-automated cars. Self-automated.
Okay.
Self-driving.
Pushing your Tesla agenda on me, buddy. Elon Musk. Don't you saw this one thing? It was like somebody was like elongated muskrat is the nickname for Elon Musk. That's his full name. That's not a shout out. Don't you dare. I don't need him to know that. But I just thought that it was a weird way
Edit
to say
this clip. If you show
take it out.
So self-automated cars or self-driving cars are.
I'm a self-driving car.
Likely more. Are not more safer. They're safer than a person driving because all these different features that do that. I have one time in band camp, I came up to a light. It was a green light and I stopped because my brain, I don't know how, but my brain just knew that it was red, even though it wasn't. Like, what was that thing that happened recently? I asked like, did that person take my car? And it was like, no, the car's here. And apparently I actually walked to the mailbox and walked back, seeing the car both times. And my mind just, elephant in the mist it. So
well, that's just you. You're stupid.
It's just me.
Everybody, your guys are very smart.
So control, right?
Control. No. Yeah. So I would say it's yeah. So I think what we're coming down to is there's a lot of factors that play into it. Nature's a huge part, but nurture can do some pretty drastic things. Like nurture can't just smack you in the mouth.
Nurture
but
can
we
shit
also
on your face.
we also agree that like there's some things like what is nurture compared to nature? Like getting like the chemical reactions. It kind of gets in a weird place. Like what really you can't really separate them because they interact. So okay.
If the chicken and the egg thing, right? Chicken came first, nature came first before nurture. But throughout your life,
the egg came first. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
No.
No. That's because dinosaurs started giving birth to.
That's because
eggs.
Technically, think about this though. You're right. But I could have just named every fucking thing the chicken.
Oh, you a bitch, Guigo.
Oh, yeah.
The
chickens in the past
that
are
is
different
cowardly.
than the chickens right now.
That is disrespectful. That is cowardly. That is not. That is backstabbing. That is cowardice.
Go fuck.
That is chickenist.
All right, is it my turn?
Yeah, you chicken.
Okay. Should people care more about doing the right thing?
You don't have to do these in order.
Oh.
You don't have to follow down the list.
Okay, let's do random then.
These people are like, oh no, I wanted that. No.
What makes a good friend? Not any of the qualities that Nico has.
I think my nose makes me a good friend. I make your nose.
Oh, you're gonna love this one. What is freedom? America.
Man,
answer for you.
I mean, this episode won't be released necessarily soon, but this is in good proximity to a day that really represents what that means. I mean, I can't play the song right now about American guys. An American girl.
That a boat in your ass.
That song just yes, man. This America's the most free country. I don't give a crap. My God.
I don't give a fuck.
You know what freedom is? It is being able to insult your country and having that country not putting you in prison for it. Yeah, you might get a boot in your ass by some people. They might not be happy about it. You know, you can't control people. It's not control, but you have the right to. And that's the thing I think a lot of people forget. People always like to insult America, like, you're not really free. They kill people all the time, or all this, that, and the other. And the fact that you're able to insult this country, the fact that Vietnam War protests were able to happen, proves how free this country really is. People make mistakes. You see, the thing is that you have those presidents, those people had the freedom to make the wrong decisions as well. Okay. They had the freedom to do Kent State kind of situations, and then people are gonna say, "Well, that's corruption." But they got caught. There was reprimandations. There was all this. Those were not legal actions taken against people. Those were illegal actions. You can't act like, oh, drug dealers, man. That's the problem with this country. Like that's just infesting everything. That's illegal. Okay, you gotta stop that shit. This America's free.
Freedom.
We're done. Move on to the next
freedom
question.
is all the time. You what you're talking about is like a base level of freedom in terms of government and people, society.
Freedom.
In reality, there's no such thing as the right of free speech, because as long as you have a mouth and vocal cords and you can speak, that's your right of free speech.
Yeah, but as long as I have a gun,
you have the right to walk around. You can get killed. And it's not like, oh, there's consequences. No. That's not the point. The point is, you can just literally do whatever you want. You can kill everybody. You can jump off cliffs. You can do this. All the other stuff is the freedom based on, societal things. So it's a mixture. I think people want to talk about like what you're talking about in freedom.
You mean the right freedom? You mean American freedom?
Anyway. But fuck, what was I saying? You fuck.
Wrong.
Jesus Christ.
You weren't.
No,
You're wrong.
Because there's a responsibility that comes with true, absolute, all the time freedom, which is just, it's kind of like that thing. I'm gonna make fun of people. You know the whole gender thing? How you have how many genders are there?
Oh no.
How many genders are there?
76.
76 now?
I think.
Here's the thing.
I don't keep track.
Here's the thing. So you have your sex.
Okay.
Right? Your sex is based on are you male?
If anybody likes
or
you,
female,
yes.
And then without trying what's the word? Like without without trying to bring down. It starts with a D. Be detrimental? No. That word that
destroy.
Whatever you
decimate.
Guys, there's also that towards trans people.
Down.
Basically, there's a whole and then, but gender is a sociological concept, right? You're a male. No, you're a man. You're a woman, right? And then
I think it's pronounced woman.
Woman.
You're a woman. Has a lot more kick to it. If people pronounce it like that, woman would be like on top. It'd be like, what's this like? Woman. It should be woman. It's like woman.
Woman.
Hey,
he's got it right. Would that be phonetically better?
Woman.
Woman. Because woman is such
woman.
It's like the way it goes into your mouth. It's kind of like cellar door is like one of the
cellar door.
It starts in the back at and ends up at the end as cellar door.
Door cellar.
Right? It's like a fucking wave in your mouth. Woman is like, what? It's weird.
No, I think the thing is that
girl is just
people don't like saying woman or people don't like the idea that woman has man in it. See, the problem is they're saying it all wrong.
Whoa. We don't like the whoa.
You gotta put the emphasis on the whoa.
Whoa.
You gotta be woman.
Dude, you're like fucking cutting the sound quality.
Yeah.
Yell that way.
Woman.
Anyway, so gender, right, is social. So what these people are doing, what they're doing is saying they don't like the idea that they're either a man or a woman, right? So they want to be this, and the problem is they want a label because they want to be part of a group, because the inability to be independent and have your own independent, like you and me, if anybody listens to our podcast, they know
They're part of our group.
No, we go back and forth between Republican ideals, Democrat ideals,
No, they're on our
own fucking thoughts.
They're on our group. We're on your team. You guys, you're on our team. We're on your team.
Yes.
We'll support what you support.
And
no, we won't.
Fuck, you keep cutting me off. I have a poor mind.
ADHD be like.
So,
and he actually does have ADHD, right?
So gender. Something about gender.
Oh no, it's happening.
Yeah,
Get
so they want to be part of a group. So it's like, at what point is somebody gonna what's G, right? G. I am a G gender. At what point are you gonna have so many people in a G gender like somebody can make a stereotype out of you? And then you're gonna change gender because you hate it, but then you're gonna choose something else. The truth is, you're not a man, you're not a woman, you're not a G, you're nothing. There is nothing. It's all fluid, it's all water. It's kind of like pansexuals. Pansexuals are great, right?
No, they're not.
They're technically...
Omnisexuals
they're
are
technically...
great. Oh! Power.
I'll fuck that. I'll fuck that. I'll fuck anything
I'll
that
power
moves.
fuck anything. It's all a power struggle for me.
I mean, technically,
Dominance.
pansexual is bisexual, but... They're
well,
able,
no. There's pansexual would have to include pedophilia. Would also include animal.
No, that's not.
All sexual. Yeah.
No, that's not what I've read about it.
But pansexual, by definition, means pan all. It's like panacea, Pangea. So pansexual. See, all these pansexuals are keeping on the down low, but they actually fucking dogs.
Okay, so
it's the DL. You know?
Anyway,
actually, there's a new thing for like pedophilia. Like they're like, oh, pedo pride or something like that. I'm like, Jesus, Christ, what? Big fella, nobody wants to hear about that. You better, if you're a pedo, you just keep that to yourself. You don't rape kids. You don't do nothing. You're all alone for the rest of your life. Or you find one of those rare people with the rare condition that make them look younger even though they're over 18.
That's the way you say that. It's weird, but yeah.
That is your mates. Those
way you say
are the
it gives the impression of exploiting people, but
no, you find one of those people, you fall in love.
Yeah, but okay.
Now don't be going after little kids now. No.
Okay, so
no.
Back to what the fuck I was saying.
But you have the freedom to.
Is like it's technically bisexual, but you don't see a gender. You don't
technically
see
bisexual.
I like him because he's a man, or oh, I love her because she's a woman. It's not like that. You just see a person. That's how you actually are. You are technically gender fluid. You don't need to fucking come up with a gender. And
no, but I think
am angry.
But that's the same thing. But heterosexuals aren't like, I love her because she's a female.
Are you kidding?
They're like, I love her because she got boobs and a vagina. A vajayjay. I was gonna say vajayjay, but then I like went in there because there was
vagina.
There was for all those who don't know, that's like a reference to there was like a show called like The Bachelor or something, and like the fucking lady on there was like, if you want vajayjay, you gotta pay money, and I was like, true. that's darn right. That's the truth.
No, but they do.
All you want?
And it's
yeah,
also,
but people don't just love. If all you do is or marry somebody for their body, that relationship never works out.
It doesn't matter if it doesn't work out.
See, it's the mind that keeps people together. It's the soul.
It's not just about sex
of the woman.
I was talking about how you function, right? Like Billy Elliot, right? He can be all a man, but still love ballet. And they were like, oh, that's not a man thing. Oh, you're gay and stuff like that. And it's like, Nico,
it's not.
Why are you going against my point? And it's like, that's stupid because you could be whatever. And the sociological bonds of being a man or being a woman are fucking stupid. But don't bond yourself to something else and fucking get professors fired because they just say, oh, and then there's also
okay, this was a freedom question, Gio.
All right, you do the next fucking question because I'm so angry.
Okay, so
I want to do things and not think I have to be a man or think I have to fucking find my label.
Freedom free.
I'm just Guigo and what Guigo does.
Okay, this is a good question.
Fuck.
I want to. What's a moment of silence? Okay, shh. Shh. What happens after we are deceased? We die. We terminate. We are no longer beating. Well,
we kicked the
I
bucket.
would like to begin this question by addressing the obvious.
What? What?
Okay. That's what happens. Finally, when you die, I don't have to hear your shit. After we die? No, the problem with this question is it's worded wrong. It's not after we die. It's after you die. What do I do after you die? What happens? I live my life. I get money. I don't waste my life.
Life goes on, right?
Life goes on after we die. Goddamn. Okay, but I think what it really means is what happens after we die to us. Okay, you want to know what happens? I really don't have an answer for you. I'm gonna admit that right now. I don't know. I haven't died yet. Guigo died 7 seconds.
I did.
Probably just caught a glimpse.
Yeah.
What a bitch.
It feels like you're passing out.
Now, here's the thing about Guigo's death. The problem with that is Guigo didn't get legally declared dead for that 7 seconds, and that's
so
because
I'm not legally dead.
No, but that's the thing. The legal definition of being dead is so complicated. Have you ever read about it? How they don't? It's sometimes defined as when your heart stops beating, or when your brain stops working.
I've heard the heart.
Or when no, but the thing is that you can be brought back from the dead from your heart stop beating, so you're not really legally dead yet. So maybe when your brain stops having activity, still they come back from that. Is it when you stop breathing? Is it a day after? When do you actually die? But then, what happens? Okay, so here's my guess. I've had some theories that the consciousness that occupies your brain is a set of, atoms, ghostly atoms, okay? That's what I'll call it because that's the words that usually are used, associated. I'm not saying you're a ghost. So those get reconstituted into another consciousness. Maybe become a tree. Maybe become a thing. The thing is that I'm not trying to say, this is what's it called? It's very similar actually to reincarnation. I think that's a cool, a simpler idea of you die, your atoms go back into the earth. Even if there aren't these conscious atoms, you essentially get those atoms become part of different things. When you die, you become part of other things. The idea of people fearing death is a weird thing because you really have no idea, but it's kind of like it could be just the ultimate peace, like the idea of you're finally resting. There is no struggle. It's like, it's pure nothingness. It's not, is it really? Because you're not really experiencing nothing. I mean, plants don't have a defined consciousness, but I don't see them killing themselves. So maybe it's consciousness that makes us sad. And maybe after we die, it's the true pure heaven. It is the happiness we all look for. Now, this isn't to say go kill yourself, okay? Calm down there, big fella. There's a lot of fun to be had. There's a lot of good things that happen while you're conscious, and there's a lot of things I don't know. You see, that's the wild card. What if hell is real? God damn, now you're going to hell. Look, I just said god damn. I did it twice. That's going to hell twice.
God damn.
God damn it. God, no. See, 4 times. I'm in hell for 4 times.
No, that was 5.
No, you said once.
Yeah.
I didn't say it. You're going to hell once. Ha. You're done with me.
You get it over and over?
See, an idea of an eternity here's the thing. The eternity of punishment thing essentially becomes a weird idea because what is an eternity of punishment? Okay, what can actually be done to you for an eternity for you to feel like it's an eternity?
Plus, you can get used to pain and stuff.
Yeah, but this guy's experienced, bro. He's been doing this for years.
He knows what to do.
He's been doing this for an eternity.
Yeah.
Well, here's the problem with eternity, actually infinite amount of time, because in an infinite amount of time, there is no beginning or an end. So when you get there, it's already been going on for an infinity, and it'll continue going for an infinity.
Ooh, the metaphysics.
And that just makes it's like for all we know, we're already in hell. Maybe Earth is hell. That's the ultimate cheat code. We're actually in hell this whole time.
And went to Earth, and you're in hell.
Yeah, we were on Mars. You died. You went to hell. God, damn it again.
Elon Musk wants to make it back to heaven.
Elon Musk wants to go back. So
yeah.
So what happens after you die? That's my theories. What are your touching theories?
The Adam thing, and I remember hearing
Adam. Yeah, I think we all join Adam.
Jesus Christ,
Adam's a good guy.
There was
if you're Adam, you're named Adam. You're a good guy.
I heard about the thing where the whole reincarnation thing was mystified by the Western society, when reality, it was more like an analogy. Kind of like the Greeks had I feel like the Greeks knew there weren't like the stories weren't real or they thought they were real. Kind of
Some
like
guy reads it's like, are you sure?
No, it's
about
like
this?
the Bible, right? You can look up it's not real, but you look up a story in the
Well,
Bible.
Jesus
Shut
was
up.
a real guy, yo. What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
Jesus was a real guy.
Okay.
Recorded
All right.
in history. So you can't say it's not real. I don't know about the whole water into wine shit, but
Yeah, but that's my point. It's like it's a story.
maybe he was a magician.
It's a story that represents things. And that's what the idea of reincarnation was. It was an analogy or a metaphor for the concept of you're made up of little parts. You die, those parts disperse. It's almost like they saw bodies dissolve and turn into mushrooms, and they're like, "Whoa!" So
Lame.
did you know we're like a huge amount DNA similar to mushrooms?
Gil,
We came from mushrooms.
No, I know why, Gil. No, we didn't come from mushrooms, but the reason why is because they also do the very basic processes that all animals do, or fungi aren't animals, but they do cellular respiration as well as, God damn it, there's another process. Yeah, we have we do a lot of processes. You know, the oxygen, the whole getting energy thing. All living things do a process that allows them to get energy, and that makes up a huge portion of our DNA. To be honest, I mean, the XY chromosomes are one of 26. That's a low portion of DNA that controls your sex, and the Y chromosome doesn't even do shit. Really, it's pretty lame. Such as the second X chromosome. Again, doesn't really do much. So, yeah, we're not really that different to that, but we are that different because I mean, a small change in DNA can have massive consequences, as is seen in disabilities such as like Down syndrome and autism. These things happen with a slight change in the DNA, and I mean, it can have massive changes, and that's what I'm trying to get over to you, Guigo. There's a massive change DNA. That's like a tiny change in a human DNA can cause that massive a change. Imagine what happens with 20% changes. It's massive. That's why you got people. We're like 96% related to monkeys or whatever, or chimpanzees.
Aren't we?
Yeah.
Meghan Markle aces her first polo weekend.
Polo's a cool sport.
That's cool. Anyway,
Horses are cool.
Meghan Markle's cool, but she failed the LSAT.
Heard Meghan Markle's being mean to the other princess.
Middleton? Why?
Yeah, they said they were best friends, and then like now she's trying to buddy up to the queen, and she left her friend behind. She's like,
and Kate Middleton's not friends with the queen?
no, it's kind of like that thing where like they're not talking as much, and she really thought they were really good friends, and now they're not talking as much, and it's kind of like,
do they understand like the queen is very reserved, like she doesn't do shit, like
don't you fucking insult her. I
It's
know I'd be American.
It's not an insult. It's more like
if you insult the queen.
It's more like
God save the
recognizing
queen.
her rather than thinking, "Oh, you didn't cry when Diana died." No, some people just.
For those who don't know, God Save the Queen was actually God Save the King back in World War I because there was a king.
When the queen came.
Well, when there's only a queen, you can't say God Save the King. He didn't.
Mm-hmm. I can.
Rest his. I don't even know when he died.
God
Actually,
save the king.
What is reality?
wait, didn't you have the other one?
What? Which one?
Oh, I already had that one. Okay, yeah. What is reality?
If
Intergalactic.
If reality is what you see and what you hear and what you smell,
bitch, you a bitch,
and what you feel,
the steak right now.
Then reality is electrical signals interpreted by your brain.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to say that reality is
what I lack.
I think reality is what I think, yeah. So reality would be what you're experiencing. I think that's what you would be defining. But because reality isn't just like what is the world. It's not describing actual things. It is the world described in the words of a human. It is what things are to a human. Reality to a amoeba is not the same of the reality of a human.
Is it not?
Now, no,
Or is it just
they don't have
perspective?
they don't have the ability to look at the same. They don't have the ability to experience the environment the same way we do. We don't experience the environment at their level either.
Okay.
We don't see things like they do.
But let's say a dog, we look at something.
He doesn't even see color that well.
That's fine. What if you're colorblind?
Yeah, your world's different.
Yeah. What if a dog is blind? You're blind.
Your worlds are different.
Okay.
Or unless you're like Daredevil, his reality is different, you know? I mean, that's a character, but the idea being your reality, I mean, what is the definition of reality? Let's see what it means.
I think that reality is just there. You know, it's not that difficult. It's just, you know.
Okay, well, actually, I was completely incorrect.
I think the problem with
Hey, I said I was going to look up the definition, and you're going to let me. The world or state of things as they actually exist, as opposed to an idealistic or national.
No, that's the problem. It's imagination or falseness is an idea that humans have created to their perspective. Reality exists outside of a human. Well, I don't know, right? You don't know. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't, right? Maybe we're all holograms, but fuck that. You know, just for a second.
Well, but wouldn't that be... See, that's the thing, though. If we're in a simulation, does that make the world less real? It doesn't AI any less of a real thing?
No.
Why? Why is it less?
No, I didn't. No, it was green.
Yeah, so if it's any... So if reality is just the real thing, is it real? What is reality? It's all we're experiencing. Unless we learn that what we're experiencing isn't the real world around us, it is that. It is real. This laptop I got in front of me, I shouldn't be slapping it like that.
Okay, but
this microphone, it's real.
Two human beings can experience something completely different.
Does it make it less real? Yes. Is the thing they're experiencing, but why was it different? Are they saying... Like what do you mean they're experiencing things different? They may be reacting to it different, but what they saw was the same.
So,
like name something. Name an example then, big fella.
Colorblind.
Yeah, but see that one's colorblind. But see that thing has color, and he cannot see that color.
Exactly.
But it doesn't mean it doesn't have color.
But I know, but that's what I'm saying. Humans have created this idea that there is a possibility of there is no reality.
Yeah, there's a possibility that what we're seeing right now is not the real thing because due to issues of us being the human body is a limiting form. That's why I killed myself and became a robot.
Because we are surrounded by like particles.
Dogs.
Like if you go like this, you can't see me right now, but I'm slowly waving my arms in the air.
Don't throw that fucking gang signals at me.
Sorry.
So what's that?
You're kind of imagine like you're in a pool and you're moving your arms around. That's what you're doing right now. There's a bunch of but we can't see it. Technically, reality.
Well, it's not the same because the pool has more atoms and more dense.
Okay, do you get my point though?
No.
There's light waves that we can't see, but they're...
Oh, I can see them.
Okay. Some people can, apparently.
Yeah, I'm a guy.
Those guys experience reality. So...
No, but here's the thing. But
the
thing is that the world we live around, there's a table.
Shut up.
Microphone. Shout out to Nokia. Wait, IKEA. Same company.
It's not IKEA.
Yeah, probably. Anyway. It probably is.
No, it's not.
Where is it?
Oh, we got it from American Furniture Warehouse. Shout out.
Shout out to America. So yeah, reality is the real thing. So to have, if you don't know, like I mean, if you don't know if what you're experiencing is real or not, it's real until proven otherwise. Is what I would say. Go with. I mean, I guess that Guigo can say all he wants. That's egotistical to look at the world. It's like okay, yeah, but you gotta look at the world and say, is that really red? Is that possible that my eyes are not receiving those away? Like a colorblind person shouldn't be like, man, like if he knows he's colorblind, he'll know that what's going on. You know, probably it's hard to not realize. I think most of it's diagnosed. It's kind of like blind people. Like, you know, they're not going to be stressing out all day thinking, man, I wonder what this world would look like. I mean, it sucks to not be able to see. I understand that. It's horrible. But is it them to question their reality because they cannot see? But isn't touch and feeling is another way to experience the world? I mean, to them, their world is just as real. It's just as real. It just lacks one dimension.
That's kind of what I'm saying.
Yeah, and I agree.
Reality exists despite
regardless
people's perceptions, and because we are experiencing reality, and that's like our assumption is that we're experiencing, and that our experience is reality. So the question is, what is reality? it brings up, is there a such thing as non-reality? There isn't. It's all reality.
Then again, I think our perception is what makes reality interesting. I mean, if it was just boring as that's red, no, that's boring. Okay, so
Your time.
what are we here?
Fly me. Oh no, that's probably copy.
Fly me to the moon.
Let me see
I'm not a
among the
bitch.
stars.
Copyright me.
Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
Keep going.
In other words, hold my hand. In other words, baby, kiss
Ooh, I like this.
me.
Is life all a dream? See, okay, I'm gonna start this one off because there was some really trippy thoughts I once had on this. I think a lot of people have had this thought. Okay, I think a lot of people have to agree that they've at least thought of this once. What if we're in a dream? What if right now what we're experiencing is the dream world of our real selves, and we're the dream people of ourselves? And the reason we remember it all vividly is because we're the dream subconscious part of ourselves, and our real selves are living the lives out.
I've lost track.
And that's why we can't remember our dreams that well, but we have slight influences in our dreams. So I don't know if that's true. I can argue, but it'd be interesting. Or is it possible that our dream worlds that we have are just as real as our real worlds, and that we actually are experiencing? But then again, that'd be weird because I think some people have weird naked dreams, and I'm like, that's not exactly a real world unless that is real world.
Could be.
So yeah, I would
Never
say
seen
life.
a nudist, Nico?
I am a nudist.
Little did you guys know, he's never wearing clothes.
Well, I'm naked underneath my clothes. That's how I live.
Me too.
Unlike some people,
You're naked underneath the cloth.
underneath these shirt prisons. I'll never be held down. So yeah, life is not a dream. Come on, big fella.
Life is a
The
dream.
reason I bring this up, this question up, is because it seems like a weird. It's always this questions of questioning your reality, and it's like, what is the point? Okay, it's like there's a point. I mean, question your reality. Try to do some experiments on it. You know, it's cool stuff. But just sitting at home, like really bothering yourself over this, it's like this is ridiculous. Life isn't a dream unless proven otherwise. That's just how it is.
You know, okay, so you have
Stab yourself.
You have
Pinch yourself if you get pinched and you feel
Ow!
it. It's a dream. I never pinched myself in a dream to even know, but I think you technically would feel it.
I remember one time in band camp,
Oh my
I
god!
was sleeping and I looked around
And the tuba
and-
guy came up behind
No, I
me.
was riding in a car in like near a field. What's those sunflowers? It was near a field full of sunflowers, and the sun was out. Somebody was in the car. It was kind of like the Sopranos scene, that one place. So then I go like, "Am I dreaming?" Like I kind of realized, "Am I dreaming?" The sun became dark. All the sunflowers like folded over, and I turned, and the guy turned into a demon, and I woke up. It's like I'm not allowed to lucid dream. If I do that, I'll learn about something there that I can't go in if I go in a lucid dream. But you know how you can just not be dreaming and just come up with stuff in your imagination?
No,
You don't know that? You don't.
I
have an
never
exercise?
imagine anything.
You don't waste your time on that?
I don't waste
You
my
only
time
deal
with stupid.
real
I only deal
logistics
with the
each day. And logistics. So like, I'm picturing a clown standing over there, right behind you. Right? So I'm just picturing it in my mind.
And it's a computer. So
And
it's
I feel like a dream is just that, but you're bored, so you have nothing to do. And it's almost like it takes your mind away. You know how daydreaming takes your mind away to like almost a pleasant kind of place while the real thing that you should be paying attention is going on? It's kind of like that. Like your brain is going through the processes, so another part needs to be like, hey, all right, let's have a good time. And most of the time, it's all pleasant. The times that it's not pleasant is when, just shit goes wrong. So, yeah. Next question. It's not
Last
from
question?
the list. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Is this the last question?
I guess.
Final round?
Sure.
Who's gonna win?
I don't.
Who's the most philosophical?
So, it's not on the list. Ooh.
Okay,
It
question.
goes,
Screw this.
do the things you own end up owning you?
Okay, for my research. Yes. No. Do the things you own end up owning you? Well, for people who own cats, I think that's sometimes true. I think they can. I've seen some of the videos. I've seen some of these things where cats just like run their household, and dogs do sometimes do the same thing. So, and you do technically own them, but, and it's a big but, thick. So, I would say, it's good to own some things. I think the idea of being completely non-materialistic is pretty trash. I mean, there's some excess of things. You can go overboard, And there's some people like, oh, don't buy a TV. Go and actually buy a ticket to the places you're visiting. And it's like, I can't buy a ticket to the bottom of the ocean, to watch SpongeBob SquarePants. So, these are just some facts. I didn't make up that joke. Copyright. So the idea that you can't actually, why you shouldn't enjoy these goods that are produced because you should be experiencing things for real is ridiculous. I mean, what is any less why is it any less real to try and watch a movie and experience the movie and experience stories like books? Books aren't real.
But they're past the reality concept, but keep going.
But the concept in it, so you end up owning these. I mean, they don't own you. You can let your mind get too lost in the sauce of buying goods. You can get lost in that.
Like you do on Indiegogo.
I did not get lost. I needed those.
What I need.
Actually, I get lost in stationary items.
Yeah, you do.
Might even buy a new pen.
I kind of get lost with snacks. That's why I'm so fat.
Fatty. Fatty McFat.
Now here's
Fatty McQueen.
I kind of agree with you.
Fatty McDairy Queen.
I think people want to believe.
That's my best one.
Fatty McDairy Queen. Yeah, good. I'm glad you entertain yourself. So
yeah. Dude.
What was I saying?
This is the horrible circumstance of somebody who never loses track and somebody who always loses track.
Yes, and then he breaks me with this making fun of me. Making fun of me to break me out of my concentration. Everything's going wrong. What was I saying?
He's being owned by his own.
So
you play a lot of Call of Duty. You're owned by it.
There's a part of that it goes with mindfulness and like recognizing things, because I think too many people want to believe what you're saying, but they are owned by what they own because you want control, not realizing that you have so little control. Kind of like self-driving cars, right? You want control that you can drive yourself, not realizing that that's going to make you more likely to crash, even if the few crashes that happen. Doesn't make sense. So.
Wait,
Yes.
So you think your objects own you?
Your objects don't have to own you. You can make sure they don't own you, but they usually will own you because most people are just on autopilot or they think they have control over things.
Okay.
And the other thing,
I am very smart.
Is it wrong to be owned?
Everybody's on autopilot.
I'm better than everybody.
I'm better than everybody else.
No,
I'm also a
same
serial
thing.
smoker who smokes 4 packs a day. Yeah, that sucks for whoever that is. Rip to you guys. I mean, not rip because if you're alive. Not rip. Hope you have a great life.
So,
get wrecked.
It's always this way. Brain, follow the. It's because I'm too mindful. As soon as you say things, I'm paying attention to you.
Too good.
I'm too good. Yeah, I'm too mindful.
I'm too severe.
But I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm saying, and then I lose track because I'm following you, buddy.
See, those pricks that think they're so smart. You know what? Those are the people who, shouldn't own an Xbox. You get off, You get off fucking looking at your goddamn selves in the mirror because I don't need any objects. There are some serious good things that happen to people who don't have any objects. I mean, when they release those objects, they live life, they just go outside, they run, they meet people, they have a great life. But it's like, there's no problem with also adding in some materialistic goods. Because in the end of the day, you need materialistic goods to survive. You need clothes, you need some things. Some stuff.
Here's the thing. Do you end up owning the things that you own?
Yes.
It's kind of
Next question.
Anyway, next question, or are we done?
No, we're done.
Next done.
So, well, if you guys have a question,
shoot us a message.
do
on
you
Facebook.
think it would be possible to give us a like and subscribe?
You're
Follow,
free. You're free not to. You know.
Don't you dare!
But
You're free, completely. You're not free.
comment and like our stuff because it'd just be a nice thing to do, and you don't want to lose out on a chance to be nice to us. Unless that's your thing.
Being a jerk.
We're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep doing this.
Unless
even
you're a
if
racist
you don't comment.
who hates everybody.
So we're not gonna lose anything. But
you hate turtle
you
people.
would definitely be helping yourself because you would be part of the new community. I guess
the new generation.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hope you guys have a great night, morning, afternoon.
And comment and like.
Have a great morning, night, afternoon,
whatever you are, whatever reality you're in.
Rooster man. Hope you have a great rooster.